What is happening, people? I'm here on this beautiful Monday evening, and I got the boy Price from Checkmate MMA joining me today to do a little recap for UFC 312 and just kind of overall what the weekend was like with the Super Bowl as well. I see your Birds getting that absolute dub against the Chiefs, brother. How's the vibe over there in Philly, Price?
Look, I don't watch football. I haven't watched football in a decade. By default, because all the homies are in Philly and I'm close enough to Philly, I have to be like go Birds whenever I see these dudes. Um, but I had people on the ground. It was insanity. I mean, they greased the light poles. They said fuck that.
Dude.
They stole the light poles. Like they was out there. And I want to say this for everybody out there, like Philly Philly sports in general, y'all probably have heard some of the most horrible stories about the people in Philly. When you're on the inside of them, like when you're one of the homies and shit, I don't even follow football. It's nothing but love in there. Like they just go hard for their teams in the paint, and they don't get enough credit because as far as I'm concerned, they're passionate. That's what it boils down to. And let me tell you what, that the other week we had the playoff game right after the BKFC card. It was a good experience, man. So shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles winning the Super Bowl. I don't follow football. You can tell Sterling's got the big old
Come on,
Oilers in
people.
the
Y'all see
background.
it. Y'all see it. But hey, dog, I was pumped to see y'all get that dub, man. As a fellow Chiefs hater, and they beat my boys in the playoffs. I was happy y'all came out there and whooped that ass, man. Um, Also, bro, it looks like the apocalypse out there this morning, Price. I've been seeing some videos on Instagram, brother. They definitely celebrated in Philly. They let it out, dog. They let it out.
Bro, yeah, they do it different up there, man. Even look, it's
Bro.
everybody sees it. Everybody sees it from the outside looking in. I can tell you right now, Philadelphia sports. If you're look, here's the deal. If you're gonna be one of them people that just wants to, and I'm all for people having different teams, but I had people that went to the Commanders game that were Commanders fan, Redskins, whatever you want to call them.
Oh, they got did
They
up, dog. Them Commander fans got fucked up after that game.
bro, they went in the you went into Philly, like it takes a special kind of, you know what I'm
Bro.
saying? You went into
Bro.
Philly dressed up, and I'm all about supporting your team and shit, but there's just, and again, some of it's unwarranted, some
Let's
of
go.
them are assholes. Not everybody in Philly is a
Oh.
saint, except for all the homies that we know. But no,
Yeah.
it's just a
Hey,
different.
City of Brotherly Love for sure, dog. If you're one of them, you're gonna get that brotherly love. But if not, Price, you're in enemy territory,
It's
dog.
it's different, dog. I grew up 10 minutes from Yankee Stadium. I moved down here to PM in the middle of nowhere's. Pittsburgh's like a cult. Baltimore's like a cult. Philly, I'm equally pretty much a little bit closer to Baltimore, but Pittsburgh, Philly, their sports teams, it doesn't compare to Philly. Like on the ground in Philadelphia on a playoff weekend was just insanity. It was just an energy, bro, and I think that's what lent itself to the BKFC energy. But yeah, no, Philly sports fans, shout out to Philly, y'all earned it.
Yeah,
Um,
y'all did, dog. And also, brother, shout out the boys in the chat already. Shout out Lazy Bed. What's up, brother? Big appreciate you always supporting, dog. Appreciate that like as well. Shout out the homie Oscar Berries. What's up, brother? And as always, got to give a shout out to my boy Captain Roth, always in the building. What's up, Big Capitan? Folks, we got 26 of you in here right now. And before we get started into this card, I want y'all to give a huge shout out to my boy Price from Checkmate MMA as well. If you're wondering where to find the channel or how to get the spelling, it's on the screen scrolling at the bottom, people. So give my man a sub as well. They got a dope ass channel over there. They got a lot of BKFC guys on there on the show, UFC guys. Bill, the guy on the show as well, is a former referee. So they got a lot of good content over there, man.
yeah, hi Lakin. My daughter's tuning in on Instagram. Shout out 20
Hey,
look, little bit real quick. We got 25 plus years combat sports experience on the ground between training, managing, promoting. Bill was a referee. He refed your favorite fighter's favorite fighter on the regional scene. Like he was a referee for like 10 years plus. Names like Joey Pfeiffer, Sean Brady. He was there the night they signed Marab. Marab starts Rafian Stotts and they signed him to the UFC. Like Bill's, shout out to Bill Bookwalter. Bill's
shout
been
out Bill,
around.
man.
I promoted in New York. I was licensed in 5 different states for 5 different commissions to do various things. Bill was licensed multiple. Jersey, if you've ever watched the CFFC, a Ring of Combat card, he's The guy's been around, like I said. So we got 25 years of actual on the ground experience in the space. Tanner Canada, our content head, runs Fight Junkies as a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. I'm a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. So we're not just, you know how I feel, Sterling, about these talking heads on the internet that ain't ever stepped foot in a fucking gym that think they can talk about the sport. We take pride in our 25 plus years of industry experience. We try and bring different perspectives to the sport, but whether it be cut men or officials or referees or, you know, from a management perspective or promotion perspective, we try and bring perspectives to the sport and bridge that gap between casual and super fans. So
and then real quick, Price, my boy Leroy got a question for you. Does Price play chess?
I've been known to play chess a time or two. Yeah.
Damn, Leroy, how did you know that, Leroy?
I mean, it's in the name, dog.
Hey, that is true. That is true, dog. Also, another question, another statement from Lazy. CFFC is my jam. Shout out John Morgan.
I'm glad to see people pay attention to regionals. That's one thing we preach.
Let's go.
Probably till we're blue in the face. Watch your fucking regional fighters because these.
Come on, bro.
First of all, I'll be honest.
Go ahead.
Shoot a like at Checkmate MMA if you already haven't already. We appreciate you. I'll be the asshole in the room. 85% of the fan base doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. They don't know how a round is scored.
Go ahead, man.
But the ones that do, that's who we're here for. We're here for the fans that want to watch the regional scene. We're not here for the guys that watch the prelims going, who the fuck are these bums? Where did these cans come from? So shout out to Lazy Leroy for catching it. We appreciate that. Appreciate guys that watch the regionals. Appreciate fans that want to have decent conversations about the sport and want to learn and want to understand how things work and not just spout off like some of your co-hosts on the internet that think they know a thing or two.
Hey, I like it. Nah, I like it, dog.
I'm trying to behave, dog. I'm trying to behave.
And also, Barry, what happened to my fight, brother? I'll tell you what. Right now, as my man Price can probably tell you, some of these promotions suck. Some of these promotions are unorganized. The most shit show events I've ever seen. Price, we had 17 fights on this kickboxing card I was supposed to fight in, bro, and only 11 ended up happening. We had 6 fights fall out, one of them being mine. People no-showing the promotion, a lot of people showing up and leaving. It was so unorganized, bro. But also, Barry, I'm glad you put that in here, dog, because February 21st, I'm boxing in San Antonio, brother. So one door closed, another one opens, man. But thank you for bringing that up. And Lazy says, I like this guy. Brother,
hey, look, I got another one for you real quick. If you're going to let me do another shameless promotion.
Let it out, dog. We're going to get started.
We're the only talking heads on the internet that have our own MMA-themed coffee brand, so you can head over to tinyurl.com/checkmate roasters. We got 6 flavors. Holiday drops still live. Use the code checkmate CHKM8.
Let's go.
For free shipping. It's good. Look, all bullshit aside.
Go ahead.
It's good coffee. We've launched 6 months ago. We've had no complaints. We've got a bourbon aged called Single Barrel Takedown. It's the beans are aged in bourbon barrels before they're roasted. That's probably our #1 seller. We got a cinnamon bun. It's called Cinnamon Stare Down. It's cinnamon bun, and apparently these crackheads out here are mixing the cinnamon bun with the bourbon, and they're telling us about it. So now, yeah, they're doing it's real good coffee. It's specialty grade coffee. It's fresh roasted. Fresher than anything at your grocery store because that shit sits in a warehouse for 16 months. So
hey, it ain't Folgers, brother. It ain't Folgers.
It ain't Folgers. It's fresh roasted. Order. It'll show up at your door. Your mailbox will be smelling fresh as fuck.
Let's go,
we appreciate
baby.
Everybody use code Checkmate for that. And at Checkmate MMA across all socials, you can find us and talk to at least one of us. We appreciate each and everybody out there. We appreciate the support. We do it live. Usually once a week, we're doing some interviews, and check us out on Millions. If you're on Millions, we're getting ready to do some exclusive interviews with the team at Millions. We just partnered with them, and coming to, if all things come to fruition, coming to a Roku Fire Stick, Apple TV device soon. We'll be able to watch the show there as well. So we're out here making moves, dog.
I love it, man.
Making moves.
Also, what's up, Chris? What's up, brother? Glad to have you in here tonight, man. And man, I think you brought up a really good point about those regional scenes, Price, about how you need to show up for your guys and also show up for the prelims, which is what we're about to get kicked off right here. But before we do that, my man Lazy says a cup of coffee so strong it's like Paul Felder's elbow. That's 100% Lazy.
I'll see Paul Felder's elbow, and I'll raise you a Matt Brown, Diego Sanchez elbow.
Oh,
that's how good the coffee is, dog.
Shout out the
Good coffee.
Immortal Coffee, by the way, too, folks. Matt Brown's got his own coffee.
Hey,
Shout out
no,
Immortal Coffee.
No,
You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
Checkmate.
He got
Checkmate
enough.
Coffee,
We name
folks.
dropped him. That's enough. We ain't.
Yeah, you're right.
We want you
Hey,
to buy
you're
our
right.
coffee.
Another guy I'm ready to name drop, folks. Like my man Price says, you need to watch all your regional scenes promotions, like my boy Lazy. But also, you need to watch the prelims of every UFC card because we had absolute bangers on the prelim, brother. Price, you want to go ahead and take over these names, man?
I was instructed to let you do all names from here on out. Shout out to the homie Crossover. He said now Quillen.
Here we go.
Quillen Scalkilled and Anshul Jubilee.
That was solid, brother. I'll go ahead and toss it up, man, before I throw it over to you, brother. Check. This was a nasty knockout. I've been seeing a lot of early stoppages. Maybe most of them are jokes. I'm hoping that at least. What was your opinion on this fight, man? And shout out the Australian getting this done in 17 seconds and a little smoke of the cig, little pre-fight or a little post-fight celebration. Little smoke of the cig, brother.
What'd they say? Second fastest knockout or something? I don't know.
17 seconds, bro. Checkmate was good. Shout out Jackson in the chat, brother. Thank you, big dog.
Another dog on Millions. Go check making the walkout wherever you're at. That's one of the homies from Millions.
Jackson's the man, dog. But yeah, man, give me your overall thoughts of this fight, bro, especially with it ending in 17 seconds.
The Australian, I like I said, I pay attention to the regional shit. So when I see names like Jimmy Crute and I call him Thick Nessie on our channel just because I like people fucking with me about fucking with names, but Thickness. Like, these are the guys I've been paying attention to take away from this card and kind of just to drive home your point about the regionals. Like, guys like Jordan Vucenic, guys like Paul Hughes, who's, you guys do a lot of PFL. We don't cover a lot of PFL, but these are the guys you should be paying attention to. And if you did pay attention to who this guy was, you'd know this was possible. Jubilee, I hate to be the guy, but Quillen said, "Thank you, come again," and he was hit him with the Apu. Hit him with the 1-2 Apu, and he was done, dog. Thank you, come again. Out of it. A little bit of an early stoppage, but you know what? You know how we feel about officials and referees. It's one of the hardest jobs in the sport, and maybe he saw something that we didn't see. So,
bro, I 100%, bro. I'd love to get Bill's kind of thoughts on this, especially with him being a referee. But in my opinion, it is one of the toughest jobs in MMA, man. And you're trying to protect the fighters, but like Mark Goddard did with Izzy. I don't know if you saw them apologize after him and Mark Goddard had a conversation in the back.
Yeah.
No, none of these guys want to stop a fight, bro. But
no, they don't. Bill will tell you. There's a few things I'm comfortable saying in Bill's stead with Bill not being here, knowing to get out of the internet. They don't want to get involved in the fights. You've had the luxury. I've had the luxury. Several other people, I'm sure, in the comments that have industry experience had the luxury. I've been to dozens of pre-fights with the commission. You know what I'm saying? You've been to a few, I'm sure. And again, I've been there as a capacity as a promoter with the USMTA, sanctioned our fights. I've been as a manager. I've been there as a corner, as a teammate. Like, I've been there. And you can go, I've said this, and this is my big sticking point with this. It's long-winded, and I apologize. But you can go to the same promotion show with the same commission, 2 months separated or back-to-back shows, however many weeks is in between shows. But you can go a month-to-month difference, have different guys run the meeting, and different guys on that commission are going to interpret the rules different ways. That's what the pre-fights are for. This guy will tell you, look, I don't know. Or, you're established with these guys, or these guys like Bill have worked for commissions and have seen these guys and have done 2 and 3 of their amateur fights and 2 or 3 of their pro fights. And they look at you and they say, look, I don't want to get involved. It's a championship fight. But if I give you this warning, I'm getting ready to stop it. And this is all the stuff that the common fan or the people that don't know how things work, that there are these conversations that happen before. So when you're hearing these guys say these things to them, they might be saying something specific. It might mean something that we have no clue what the fuck it means, but he communicated that earlier. So for everybody to sit here and say, I go back to the Yuri Pereira 1 fight, where everybody argued for damn near 3 months on our channel, on our feeds and our thing. Every time it came up, oh, that was a fucking shit, stop it. No. If you go back and you watch it, you see Yuri's hands dropped before that thing ever even went to the ground. People are looking at it on the ground saying, oh, it was an early stoppage. He was still moving when Mark Goddard's stopping it based on, yeah.
Hey, I was about to, real quick, Bryce. I think this is, let me read to the chat real fast before I bring your boy in right here. I see. Nah, bro, I'm always here for it. We got one of your boys in the background. I'm about to bring him up real fast. But before I do that, Lazy, you dropping some fire here tonight, dog. Only reason Jubilee woke up, his head smacking the mat. 100%. My boy IV Estate MMA, what's up, brother? Appreciate you dropping by, showing some love to the chat, homie. Osterberry says, for real, nothing wrong with that stoppage. It wouldn't have got better for him. Like to your point, Price. Chris is with you as well, dog. It was a good stoppage. Leroy,
I didn't see anything wrong with it. My whole long-winded point was this. Before people jump on the internet and crucify these guys on the fucking internet, watch the film back. Because anybody that watched the Yuri Alex stoppage 2 or 3 times could see that he stopped it. You're seeing him stop it 3 seconds later, but he stopped it based on something he's seen before. And again, we have the best angles in the house. I don't know how we're going to fix officiating. We have this conversation at least once a month on our show. I don't know how we're going to fix officiating. We have some ideas, but it has to be broad scale. It has to be accepted. I personally think you should sequester the judges. You should do 5 judges. You should do best 3 out of 5 throughout the high and the low.
That's what Joe says, man. Joe said there should be more than 3, man. Nah, I'm 100% with you.
We're using a antiquated judging system for a sport that it's not even designed for our sport. It's a boxing judging system. Mm-hmm. So I've been to a show. I've been next to the fucking cage. I've had pretty much the best seats possible, and I'm not watching everything, and I can't see everything. So how the fuck do you expect the guy that's sitting on the other side of the cage in the same viewpoint that I am to see stuff that's facing me? You can't. It's impossible. We need more judges on opposite sides of the cage. We need to sequester them, I think. Give them a feed, and for what it's worth, let them watch the fight. You're always going to see, the ref's always going to see shit that the people on TV and the people in the crowd don't see.
Hey, brother, another thing we're going to add to the show is one more guest and one more co-host on here. What's going on, my man from Checkmate MMA? What's going on, brother?
What's happening, fellas? How you doing?
We're doing good, man. This is one of Price's boys. Nah, man, good to meet you, Gary. I was just about to say, I think Price should be the best one to give you a little intro here. Price, let the people know, man.
This kid drove 6 hours across the state on the whim to go watch BKFC, and he's got all that fancy memorabilia hanging. That tells you what kind of fan he is. The kid's a true fan. He's a little bit. It's refreshing for us because I have trouble having conversations with just fans, honestly, sometimes, and I have trouble relating because I have promoted. I've seen a peek behind the curtain.
Right here, Price. Common fan equals casual, brother.
Yeah, but see, again, look, I'm gonna school you on some game real quick, Leroy. The word casual and the word gatekeeper are not bad terms. So, like, we hear it all the time. People, oh, you're a casual. We need casual fans. We need the people that are going to tune in because they saw a knockout on SportsCenter Top 10 and they've never watched before. We need those people because we need new people to come the fuck in. Gary has homies that are amateur fighters that fight in his area. He's in the scene in his area in Pittsburgh, and he drove 6 hours to Pittsburgh solo to go to BKFC.
Mm-hmm.
So
hey, Gary, I like that energy, dog. I heard about y'all meet up at the gas station. I saw you saw the hat.
Crazy. I seen the hat. We were just chilling there. I was like, dude, what's up? You went to BKFC? We just started chatting up, and I mean, shit. Now I'm in here. So, but kind of to piggyback off what you guys were saying, you said there should be more judges all around the cage. Also, I think that they should describe what wins you around as well. Is it pressure? Is it like if striking is like 35-30 and the guy with 30 gets a takedown? I mean, that might be a split. Like, what is a takedown then worth?
I think you're starting to hear it. Well, and again, it's interpreted. The entire fucking rule set of MMA is kind of a gray area. Only because even stuff that's clearly defined is open for interpretation by this guy. If you've watched Johnny Walker get clipped and you know that he gets Bambi-legged and gets all fucked up and does backflips in the cage and all this other crazy-ass aerobatical shit, you already know that Johnny Walker can be okay in 2 minutes. But if GL3, who's never trained before, gets punched and looks like that in the fucking street, everybody's concerned for his safety. Like, there's some level of knowing there's some. Sorry, I'm used to producing, so I'm reading comments as I'm trying to talk too.
Nah, bro. Bro. I love having a guy like you, Price. I can just sit here and be like, "Do your thing, dog. Let me fix all this in the back."
I'll dip off and do the comments. You can talk.
Dude. No, I love, bro. Right here, like what Lazy said, brother. You're preaching. You're not rambling. You're preaching.
Well, and then the ADHD kicks in, and I'm all over the place.
Nah,
anyway,
dog.
But,
Never apologize.
No, it's all good. I don't give a fuck. I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
I don't even remember where I was at. More judges, sequester them, do a fucking feed. My argument for that, after we thought about it, we had a discussion, was okay. Well, then you have regional shows that have no feed that can't do that. It's not on the commissions to provide that. You know what I'm saying? So you run into some problems at the lower end. But like Bill's thought with that when I brought it up, was then you just do it. The ones that can't afford it do that. But then you're running into a game where it's much like we had at the Toronto card.
Hey, this is 100%, Leroy. You're not lying, brother.
Worst judges are in boxing, 100%.
The system,
100%.
the 10-point must system is a boxing scoring system. Like, we're over here scoring shit. Now, you want to score BKFC like a regular boxing match? Cool. I'm all with the commission.
Makes sense.
Keep it whatever. But I mean,
another point, Osterberry. 100 more judging criteria needs adding, and judges should have to explain their cards.
Now, let me tell you another thing that people don't understand. For one, cough, Adelaide. For one, I have a very good friend who's a judge for the state of Pennsylvania, so I say this. Our channel, like I said, everybody that makes the walk gets respect. We don't bash fighters on our channel, but we also really don't bash the officials because we have friends that do it for a living. We have guys that get paid $250 to go out and judge, drive 6 hours across the state, take time away from their families because they love the sport. They're not doing it to get rich. They're not doing it for the money. And there ain't a person in the comments, me included, you included, and GL3 down here at the bottom included, that ain't ever had a shitty day at work. You know what I'm saying? I fucked shit up at work. When I worked in production, I fucked orders up. I cost the company money. We're all human. You know what I'm saying? So I take that with a grain of salt. We look at shit a little differently, but I think sequestering the judges, I think a new judging system, maybe. I think back to my original point, because I got sidetracked again, this whole ADHD.
All good.
There are post bouts. So Bill's talked about it before, and again, I might mutilate it a little bit in translation, but Bill basically made a call, and the promoter made a note to the commission. The commission then asked him why he did this call. So there are post bouts. I don't know if certain states, if the media can go to post bouts, but there are places for the officials to go explain themselves to the commission. It's then on the commission to go and explain themselves, much like you'll see Andy Foster on Ariel Helwani. He'll come on and talk about some stuff like when the rule changes shit. So you have more commissioners using the media, but it's been traditionally frowned upon. There was times when Bill was still reffing that I would tag him and post on social media, and he would delete the tag because he's obligated to be impartial and work for the commission. So yeah, to me, that makes the most sense. Let them see the camera angle that we're seeing, because
with no commentary, like Chris just said too.
We're not watching a guy get kneed. One of your homies in Texas, my buddy Nick, he's got 20 years of creds down there in Texas. He talked about it.
Yeah.
He was doing a Muay Thai show as a judge because now he is an official. He's 20 years of fight creds, and now he's working for the commission in the state of Texas, giving back to the sport. But Nick has the credentials. Again, Nick saw a guy in a Muay Thai fight, and the kid's entire fan base was sitting behind him, and he hit him with the clinch, and he hit the first knee, and the first knee drove home, clearly hit perfect. The crowd is erupting. He goes to throw 4 more knees, and they don't even hit. And from where Nick's sitting, he can see that. However, the judge that was sitting directly behind them is seeing a clinch from the back and seeing knees being drove. So that's where the lack of perception comes in. We need more judges in an MMA. If there's 8 sides to the cage, fuck it. Let's do 8. Let's do 5. You know what I'm saying? The commissions, I know how it works in Pennsylvania, is the commission pays the fee, or the promotion pays the commission the fee for these officials. So yeah, shows like the UFC, who are making thousands or millions and millions of dollars per gate can afford that. These other shows, I don't. Again, you can present a solution, but then there's always going to be scrap the 10-point must system where judges. But then how do you score it? Because then you're talking about overhauling an entire system that's been in place for 30 years. Do you just try and tweak it, or do you want to overhaul it? Because look at the confusion you have when you go to places like Toronto that didn't have unified rules and they were still in 2016 rules.
Osterberg, you think 20, brother? I like 8 to 10. 20 is crazy. I like your point, Price. I like put one in each corner of the octagon. Put one at each side. Let it all tally up at the end. And the 10-point must system it's just hard, bro, to maintain that with the UFC. I think ACA has 5 judges. Do y'all know about that, Price?
No, I can check it in, look it up, see what it's up.
I'm about to say I don't know Chris off the top of my head, brother, so I don't want to lie against you, brother. My boy at State MMA says, just like any other job, thinned out workforce to save on labor costs on expenses of industry. It makes sense, man. I mean, it makes sense. And it's just harder with these judges' Price because they affect these dudes' careers. You know what I'm saying? Like their life dramatically changes, and they get half their pay. So it's just so much pressure on these judges too, man.
I get it.
Especially with the fight like what we had right here coming up next. This fight was an absolute scrap, bro. But you could clearly tell Jonathan got this fight. So for the most part, I'm glad they gave us a unanimous decision. But boys, what was y'all's thoughts with Jonathan McAuliffe versus Kevin Jusat?
McAuliffe, I got what I've expected. I watched him. Yeah, I watched him fight once or twice. He fought for Demolition Fights in Australia that I had picked up and saw somewheres and watched some of his fights. Like, I was familiar with his name. I wouldn't say I was a fan, like a Jordan Vucenic or a Paul Hughes or somebody that I was real aware of before they made it to the UFC, but I was aware of him. Kevin Jusat, another, kind of
crazy team around him too, with Jusat too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And a crazy kickboxer, man. It's just you fight a guy like Jonathan, bro, who's kickboxing. Those shots to the body after the first round, boys. You already saw Jusat's ribs were fucked. Yeah, dude. This dude's kicks were fucking nasty, and Jonathan just looks so much faster than Jusat, bro. He just had younger legs, and Jusat has been in so many wars now, man. And then he takes that L against Brian Battle in France. So I feel bad for the guy, bro. I hope the UFC doesn't cut him because he always puts on fun fights. But boys, Jonathan's a fucking problem, man.
Yeah, he's coming. I can't think of who I said at the time, and I'm gonna actually pull the card up so I can look at it too, because some of these I'm trying to remember.
GL3, give me your thoughts, dog.
Jusat.
Yeah, Jusat versus Jonathan.
I like Jusat. I hope they don't cut him, like you said. I like the team around him too. The fight with Brian Battle was fun, but he got the lower end of the stick there. Yeah, that's all I got to add.
It's nasty, bro. Like Leroy just says here, Jusat's tough as shit, and I bet y'all 100% that whole right side of his body is fucked up this morning, boys. Go ahead, Price.
From a little bit of personal experience, if it's bruised up that close, like if it happens and you see those marks 3 minutes later, boy, you're in for a hell of a fucking time the next day.
Bro. Yeah, bro. Lazy, you're so fucking funny, dog. Shout out McAuliffe. My guy looked like ripped Blizzy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony with the cornrows.
I can't unsee it now that he said it.
That's so good, Lazy. Also
like early 2000s, like 10 years ago, though. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. Also, Barry says, I got to get back to work. Have a great show, guys. Big up the chat. Show these guys some loves with a like and a sub. Also, Barry, you're the man, homie. I always appreciate you, man, showing love to the chat. And
hope
folks,
to see you on our shit. Let us know. Hit us up.
Come on, man. I was about to say, make sure y'all subscribe to my boy over here, Checkmate MMA. If you're wondering how to spell it, it's scrolling by at the bottom, people. Right, and also the boy GL3, man. Glad to have you on the show, man. I know this is your first time hopping on the live.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, bro. No, good to have you on here, dog. Another good fight.
He is on our Twitter, so if you want to talk to GL3 specific, or he does sell nudes on Twitter, you can slide in our DMs.
Hey, the OnlyFans link in the bio, baby. Let's go, GL. Come on, dog. Boys, another fight we got to talk about, which is what Price was saying earlier. This is why you got to watch the fucking prelims, because it's going down for fight of the year for me, boys. Rong Zhu versus Cody Steele was the fuck, bro. This deserves fight of the night. Thank God Dana gave it to them. Price, what was your thoughts on this fucking war, dog?
I immediately, before they even read the decision, I immediately was like, fight of the night. Like, give it. Like, I don't care what happens. I was not. Look, I'm a Sean Strickland fan. I'll say it in public.
Yeah, same.
I'm a Sean Strickland fan.
Same.
I wasn't expecting Sean Strickland, Dricus du Plessis to get fight of the night, performance of the night, knockout of the night, any of that shit. Cody Steele, and again, some of this stuff blurred together a little bit for me too. Yeah, don't look. He can't pronounce shit apparently or spell it right. CHK.
I know, dog.
So
fuck, dude.
Mate,
I got you. I'm fixing it right now. I'm fixing it. Go ahead, and give me your breakdown, dog, while I fix this banner.
I feel like Steele was having success early, and then he kind of just deviated from his game plan. I think, again, it was one of the best. It was fight of the night. Like you can't.
That last 10 seconds, Price. God damn.
Like I felt at the end of this fight. At the end of this fight, I heard them say at the end of the Umar Merab fight that it was the best bantamweight fight that they'd ever seen. And in like that sentiment, I'm like, wow, bro. And again,
I think
not gonna be the best fight we've ever seen at 155, but I mean, young in their careers, early on the prelims. You got a cool ass one gangster sounding like Chinese name. Like, come on now, bro. It's Cody Steele. The guys' names are Cody Steele and Rong Zhu. It sounds like a fucking It sounds like a Mortal Kombat level, bro. You know it's gonna be fucking good.
That's right.
It does sound like a Mortal
both
Kombat.
of one of them situations where both the guys like end up fighting up in the ranks next fight and like on a main card of a fight night. You know,
pay attention
in like a
to
hot
your
seat.
regionals. Pay attention to your prelims, because when Cody Steele or Rong Zhu is headlining a fight night, I don't want to hear anybody in the comments going, well, where do these fucking guys come from? They came from a fight of the night on the prelims, dog. That's where they came from.
Bro, that's happened with so many champions, Price. Bro, there's nothing better than seeing the rise of a fighter. First getting the UFC, like where Cody is at. Like 7-0, 7-1 now, kind of these young guys, and just watching them. Like with Sean Strickland. Bro, I remember watching Sean Strickland before COVID. I remember him fight Kamaru Usman. It's cool seeing like the level these guys go up, and this is why you got to watch the prelims, bro, because this was literally fight of the night and potentially fight of the year. Yeah, GL. It happens every card. There's a fight on the prelims that you cannot believe these dudes are on the main card, bro.
Yeah, I'll go back once we get going. We'll get through here. I'll go back. It was, I think, 2 cards ago where I was like,
"Who you talking
about?" Was it the
on the prelims?
Yeah, it was the week before. We had some fire prelims the other week.
Oh, BKFC. Yes.
No, it wasn't even BKFC. It was the week before or the week after. One of those cards where we had after the Christmas break. I was like, all night. I was like, man, this is a pretty fucking good card. Yeah, that guy could have trained at a lot of other gyms and might not look the way he looks. Shout out to City Kickboxing.
Thank you. I was just about to say, for seeing that comment, bro. Leroy, that's a great point, bro. And he's on. Hey, think it real quick, boys. He's 24 years old and has 32 fights. 24 years old and has 32 professional. Bro, how crazy is that?
That's sick. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I wanted to now. You know what?
My boy Chris says I watched Cody Steele come up in Fury FC. That fight didn't disappoint. Chris, thank you, brother. That is a local Texas promotion, folks, called Fury FC. And we've seen so many Cody Steele's fought through there. Alex Morano, Zachary Reese.
What team is he with?
Yanez. Cody Steele? He's in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, but who's he trained with?
I don't know that, to be honest with you.
Holland, Lewis.
I wonder if he. I told you my friend Nick.
Not Holland.
No, my friend Nick's Lewis, in Austin.
Go ahead.
Nick, the ref, the judge, he's in Austin. That's where he trains out of. That's why in my head there might have been some sort of connection, and that's why the name was resonating. I just couldn't remember when they announced it. 26-6. I'm looking at his record here. Who did he?
I like this right here. That fight gave me knockoff Gaethje versus Chandler vibes, and I wasn't mad at it. Lazy 100, bro.
Yeah, like
nobody was mad at
like
that
Gaethje
fight.
Chandler. If you ordered it on Temu, you get Rongzu Cody Steele. Is that what you're trying to tell me on the prelims?
Yeah. Lazy says we have Gaethje versus Chandler at home.
Yeah, Gaethje versus
Hey, that's facts, Leroy. That's facts, boys. But man,
Rongzu, fight credentials going back to 2016. The guy's been in the game for a decade.
Oh, right here. Thank you, Lazy. He trains at Syndicate with John Wood. Thank you, Lazy. You're right, dog.
Okay.
You're right. Yeah, I did see John Wood in this corner, man. But like Chris said, man, this is why you got to watch your local promotions. Like my boy Price said at the beginning, it's y'all got to do it. If you're gonna be a hardcore, if you're not gonna be a fucking common fan, let's go, folks. Let's go. Step your toe into the MMA world and let's fucking drown in it. I think he had Merab in his corner. Cody still had Merab in his corner, Lazy, or Rongju?
No. Cody
Steele,
yes, he's out of Syndicate. Okay, that's
it had to be Cody Steele then, because he trains with John Wood too. That's a good point, Lazy. But here. boys, that was an absolute fucking scrap. And another fight that was a pretty good scrap, not as much as I thought it was gonna be, was Colby Thickness and Alexandre Topuria. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. The Topuria brothers fight the exact
fucking same.
Isn't that crazy?
Crazy.
In the first 30 seconds, he backed him up to the warning track. And for those of you that don't, the black line around the edge of the cage, the warning track. He backed him up to the warning track and started to put work against him and shut him down from moving against the cage. That's exactly what his brother does. Like, it's to a T.
Hey, and the way he is,
Conor McGregor did. It's what these high level strikers do. They get you inside that warning track. They cut off your angles, and
they can explode.
They create angles of their own, closing the distance. Like it's.
And as soon as Topuria took a back step too, his guard was high with both hands the entire time. Thickness too. I was trying to look at similarities between like Volk and Thickness as well. And Thickness was even like pumping the jab as he was switching stances, going from southpaw to orthodox too. I felt like that was a little similarity from like Volkanovski. When we were talking earlier, I thought this fight was going to be like they're both high level athletes, but I thought that it was kind of going to kind of be like a Evelev and Diego Lopez style fight where they both kind of show up and then meet each other back up in the rankings. I mean, I guess we'll see after this, but Topuria looked good.
Bro, he looked nasty, dude. And Colby Thickness, man, I mean, shout out the boy. He has his UFC debut. Has to fight the champ's brother.
You know what I was happy about, and this has happened now twice. And again, some people might not look at it this way. This is the way I look at it. Think about it. Whatever. It's my opinion. Guys like Thickness, and we covered Jordan Vucenic heavily, like right before Jordan Vucenic had some wars with Paul Hughes, who of course just fought in PFL. We were covering Vucenic as a Priceless Prospect segment, like before he got the UFC call-up. These guys that are getting these 2-3 week call-ups are saying yes. They're having fun in there. And you know what? Jordan Vucenic did it 2 weeks notice, lost his UFC debut. Colby Thickness, 2 weeks notice, lost his UFC debut. All smiles all the time, enjoying the fucking moment. An L's an L, but it is what it is. I'm glad to see these guys getting these call-ups and these guys getting this spotlight on their name and getting a chance to showcase themselves a little bit.
I'm glad you brought that up too, Price. The fact that he took this fight on 2 weeks' notice, dude. Granted, it wasn't Australia. You didn't have to make too much of a trip for it. But still, man, you got to fight the champ's brother on 2 weeks' notice. That's your debut with Volkanovski in your corner and Topuria in his corner. Yeah, GL, it's tough, bro. Like, respect
Get him
Kobe.
A fucking Australian wheelbarrow for his balls, all right?
Come on, dog. Come on, dog. You know what I'm saying? And shout out,
he's
shout out
swimming
the last
when
name.
He goes back to the airport.
Well, GL, that man's life's gotten way better off that L, dog. Lazy has a good point right here. Jordan versus Chris Duncan, March 22nd.
What's his last name?
You saw me skip it?
Yeah.
Vucenic. Jordan Vucenic versus Chris Duncan.
Former Cage Warriors 145-pound champion.
Ooh, that's a good fight.
Solid. Chris Duncan, solid. Yeah, I'm happy. I was happy to see that.
I was about to say, loser has to get a tattoo, but they got no more space on him, Price.
Pretty fucking much. Jordan's got the whole arm blacked out. Kong, Bruno Brazil. I was a little
disappointed
brother.
I got you right here.
I was a little disappointed in Bruna Brazil's performance, considering her team is which she's aligned herself with.
Let's call it what it is, man. She froze. Let's call it what it was, Price. She got
It reminded me
dominated
of Strickland in the main event. It just kind of like looks like he coasted. She coasted.
I'm not talking shit, Price. I'm just saying, let's call it what it is, bro. She froze. She got beat.
She got beat. I wasn't expecting it though. Like I didn't.
No, not that way.
Look, Wang Kong. Say what you want about the shtick with the Joker face, and people are like, "Oh, she's a female and she's Asian,
I like it,
and she don't speak English." Wang Kong is the real fucking deal. And
dude,
she starches some of these dudes in the comments that are talking shit. Not here. I'm just saying in general.
Yeah.
She starches some of these dudes twice her size in the comments in under a minute.
Trigger. The homie Trigger, what's up, dog? Nah, but Price, you're right, bro. She sparks 155-pound men, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Like
Trigger, you're the GOAT.
Country represented boxing, I think they said, or something in her country. Extensive martial arts, combat training. Like, yeah, she's. I like watching her fight. I'm not again.
I like the people
what
from
you
other
expect.
countries
Like
too.
Wang Lee, we expect a solid performance, a few English catchphrases. She's gonna get the crowd behind her.
Lazy,
everybody hates China in the fucking news, but everybody loves China on the UFC. Like, it is what it is. Like, they let her walk out with the flag. Like, I didn't know what was going on. Trump said China bad. I don't know, but these Chinese fucking fighters, I'm excited to see them. Again, promotion value, not so much there. Shout out to Weili Zhang for learning some English. We appreciate you.
You know what I'm saying? Even if it's just little, like Charles Oliveira is starting to get that too, Price. Charles starting to speak a little bit of English here and there, and he's really fucking skyrocketing, dog. Lazy, you're fucking hilarious.
We had
it's crazy when a
conversation about
Joker
this
face
too.
does that too.
Yeah, dog. Came out like Batman at the Face House, turned into Mr. Freeze in the cage. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, fuck, brain freeze. Totally lost it. Carry on to what you were saying.
Mr. Freeze? You had a Mr. Freeze type of moment there, brother?
Yeah, I had a Mr. Freeze. I'm sorry. It's a little bit of vape and a little bit of the ADHD going on, and we're just
dog. Gio, what was your thoughts on this fight, bro?
Well, even in the beginning, I like, first off, whenever like the fighters from other countries show a little bit of personality, like her little Joker theme, I think it just tunes people in a little more. That's like a clip, right? Like you can go and surface a clip everywhere. You know, it could get people tuned in, even if she's not fluent in English. But yeah, I thought Bruno just completely like frozen there. It didn't look like she was really she looked like she was kind of coasting. I mean, Kong, she's going to get a step up in competition next. I wonder who they're going to put her against. I don't know.
That's a great question, bro. That's a great question. Who do they put her
against? Yeah, we could start breaking some rankings down here in a little bit. Yeah. I also want to say, and I always think about this too, and a lot of people don't. We talk about it sometimes on the show about perspectives. We look at the sport, regardless of whether you're the other side of Pennsylvania or Texas or wherever, we look at it very Americanized. We also don't treat our champions, as far as I'm concerned, the way that champions should be treated.
No, bro. No.
Philadelphia's getting ready to have a Super Bowl parade. If Kansas City would have won, there would have been a Super Bowl parade in Kansas City. Like,
did you hear they weren't going to do
it? They get it other places. There's a reason there's energy.
Bro, you see like when Yuri went back, when Marab goes back, Ilya. Bro, when these guys win the belt and they go back to their countries, they're treated like kings. Kings, bro.
Now, I'm all for not paying a guy that throws a football as much as soldiers.
I'm fucking with you, bro.
I'm all about this.
I'm with you all day, Price.
I'm with you all day. People on a fucking pedestal.
I'm with you all day.
We combat sport, and again, it's part of the evolution of the sport. Like, we've spent 30 years. I remember when we promoted in New York, professional mixed martial arts wasn't even legal yet. You know what I'm saying? So we're still in a very like our show in Philadelphia, bare knuckle, just got legalized. It's still not legalized in a whole bunch of states. Like, we're getting there, and we're starting. It's becoming more mainstream, but and I get it. There's like population density and people per capita. Fully understand this, but also understand there's a lot more shit going on here. Every other week, somebody's winning a championship in some sport, and Muck from Tbilisi, Georgia. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
a good point that
From
Trigger
Tbilisi,
made.
Georgia, just found out that cousin Marab from Three Villages Over just became the UFC champion. It's a big fucking deal. So places like Australia, when you see a stacked up card like guys like Tom Nolan, Jake Matthews, guys who I respect that have been doing this shit for a fucking minute. Like, we're getting ready to cover the Tom Nolan Slava Claus fight. That was a great fight, bro. Tom Nolan looks so crisp. If you were not a Tom Nolan fan before and you tuned into that fight, I do not know how you were not a fucking idiot and are not a Tom Nolan fan now. Because that's what mixed martial arts is. I mean,
I'm 100% with you, bro. And before we get into that, dude, what people are saying in the chat is 100% true. We just see an influx of the Chinese talent soon. Shanghai PI about to start chumming them out. 100% lazy. Once they put that PI in China, boys, fucking A. We thought the Russians were taking over. Good fucking luck dealing with these Chinese assassins.
2025 hasn't been the year of the Russians at all.
Oh, that's very true, dog. Very true, dog. Unless your name's Islam. But it looked like Bruno Brazil's entire camp was just her making mad and happy faces in the mirror. That's not a bad point, Trigger.
Fun fact, the reason you're seeing it now, because somebody said this and I knew it opened, I just didn't know when. The Shanghai UFC PI has been open since 2019, which is why you're seeing Rongzhu. And again, Rongzhu fighting out of City Kickboxing, but no, it's been open since 2019.
Oh, fuck. I'm thinking about Mexico. I'm thinking about Mexico. You're right, bro.
Because they did this China PI, and then they did the road to UFC.
Lane, what's up, Lane? Women nerds just ain't it yet. We appreciate you, Lane. You appreciate
she didn't have her glasses. That's what it was. She didn't come out with her glasses.
Bro, another thing too, man, I want to get back to this comment real fast. I think that's a great point by Trigger, bro. A lot of these countries don't have other sports like we got, Price. They don't got football. They don't got basketball. They don't got baseball.
I said every other week somebody's becoming a champion in something here, and then population density, people per capita. Like I said, the most exciting thing that happened to what's his name is because Marab from Three Villages Over won a belt, and they're having a I know, bro. Then you got guys like Paulo Costa out here.
Shout out Paulo Costa, bro. Another handsome guy that got his ass whooped. Maybe he's not handsome the most, but like my boy Price was saying, that boy Slava Claus versus Tom Nolan, boys, that was an absolute scrap. I've never seen Slava Claus in a boring fight, GL. I've never once seen this dude come out and grapple. If he does grappling, it's exciting grappling. But he goes wherever the fight goes, boys, and he's down to get down with anyone. But Tom Nolan is that motherfucker. What's your thoughts on this fight?
Like
man?
Tom Nolan, even him saying it too, where he's just the new wave, like all these other guys coming up. Like I think Tom Nolan's just going to be the new wave of lightweights. As you see guys like, Gaethje coming to the end, Poirier coming to the end. There's going to be guys like Tom Nolan stepping right into that slot, bringing exciting fights to lightweight.
We're at an era change in 2025. The problem, sometimes this shit goes unnoticed.
You nailed it.
We've got 185. Look at 185, 170, 155. How many guys in the bulk of the middle of the weight classes are falling off? Or again, you end up with guys, and I said kind of alluded to this earlier. Our philosophy is this: the term gatekeeper isn't a bad thing at all if you think about it. The term gatekeeper just means you're left from the era before and you're still fighting. You're a Rafael Dos Anjos. You're a Neil Magny. Maybe you were a journeyman fighter during that era. Maybe you didn't realize a championship run. Maybe you didn't even get close to the top 10. But
Donald Cerrone.
You fought 15 times in the last. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the guys that are fighting 2-3 times a year. These are the guys that catch a load of shit from everybody. And these are the gatekeepers. These are the guys that are turning the guys away that are coming up through. And, you got guys like C-Rod that are breaking through and taking all the gatekeepers. Go ahead, GL.
Sorry, to add to that, though, I think, like, what a lot of people will do is, like, if a guy like Tom Nolan, he'll go and, like, he'll win 4 fights and then he might lose one. I mean, it happened to even Strickland, too. He had a couple fights and then he lost to Usman. But then he built a couple fights up, and then it's like people will write guys off once they lose one fight. Like Max Holloway, he started his UFC career 3-3. And then, what if we would have wrote him off? And we wouldn't have seen the knockout of the year last year. We wouldn't have seen the BMF. Like, it would have been a whole
Great point, GL. GL, that's a fucking great point, bro.
You got to also remember, too, this is a marketing business that promotes fighters. This isn't a fight organization anymore.
Like, yes, sir. You nailed it. You nailed it.
UFC got paid $20 million in site fees the first time
they
went to Australia.
Yeah, bro. They're fucking good.
It is an economic event. Whenever the UFC goes into a big market like that, they have a team that goes in and does economic impact studies with the local. Yeah, right there. They're creating fan bases and markets from other countries. They need to, because you have. I mean, look at Bellator. For everybody that doesn't understand how Bellator worked, Bellator had a handful of really good guys under contract. And what they would do, they did it like the PA market. I don't know how many people that fought on a Bellator undercard that have their Facebook job as fighter at Bellator. Well, guess what? You're not a fighter at Bellator. You're the local guy, because they packed out the top 3 fights on the card with their TV product, and then they fill up the arena and they fill up the other stuff with local fights. It's the way the MMA game has worked. Bellator is just the best example of it from a non-marketing perspective, because they're not in it the way the UFC is in it for marketing and ad dollars and sponsor revenue and partnership revenue.
And that's kind of why they shut down, Price. You got to build your own stars, bro. They had a couple guys like Patchy Nix, Pitbull, but even then, those guys fought at other promotions. You got to build your own guy, man. They tried with Pat Sabatini. They tried with a couple other guys, bro. But every star they have fought at another organization and ended up going to Bellator because they couldn't make it at the organization they were at, or they decided to leave.
Yeah, I just went on a rant about that last week on our show. Tanner just actually clipped it. Shout out
you're good,
shout out to Don Davis for completely driving Bellator. You had a standalone MMA product that you could have just done 8 to 12 shows a year with.
Yes,
you had enough guys on the roster to do it.
Yes.
It took you a year to drive it into the ground.
Yep.
Look, a bunch of them follow me on LinkedIn. I'm posting that clip to LinkedIn first thing tomorrow morning.
Bro.
PFL Tour, I can't. They give away tickets to fights. They don't treat fighters right. I can't get behind. I haven't been able to get behind.
I wish
PFL
AJ McKee would have came to the UFC.
Oh, bro, we need AJ McKee needs to come.
Free Patchy. Patchy's
Aaron Pico,
out Johnny Eblin.
Aaron Pico too, boys.
Oh, hell yeah.
They're looking at Pico heavy.
Pico needs to get back in the UFC, boys. He's like that Max Holloway, like you were talking about, GL. He went 2-2. The UFC let him go, and he's been sparking motherfuckers. Let's get this man back. Real quick, let me get to this chat on this. What do y'all boys think is next for Slava Claus from Lazy here? His record is 8-5-1 now.
I think it depends on what they want to do with him. What are they throwing maybe against a guy who's lost his last 3 fights? If they want to keep him around, he is an exciting fighter. You know, you see that kind of sometimes where they kind of throw up fight, but
something to take into consideration. Sometimes it just depends who else is on your team, who's your manager, etc. Look at there's a lot of caveats that are behind the scenes shit. I'm not privy to all of them either, but like I'm familiar with some of them. Certain guys could be 8-5 and get cut, and certain guys are not. It's just the way it fucking works.
Right here, Price. What Trigger just said, bro. This is how the UFC solidified themselves at number 1 by absorbing promotions with pre-built products like Pride and Strikeforce.
Yeah, no, I mean, but they don't need to do, and again, they don't need to absorb anybody now because
Dakota Ditcheva,
they're gonna hold on to her tighter.
She's badass.
Oh, bro, she's a motherfucker, bro. Yeah, you're right, bro. She's besides Kayla Harrison, that's their biggest star.
All she wants to do is fight in the UFC.
Bro, she
mauled Talia Santos too.
Oh, bro, she's a fucking dog. That's a good figure right there.
You couldn't have had a conversation. You could have a conversation. You could be 8-5. Yeah, Jason Jackson, them called Eblin, free Patchy Nix, free guys. Johnny Eblin, all of them. Bring them all over, bro.
That'd be awesome.
Rip Bellator.
Crossover. What's up, brother?
Fella? What's up?
Crossover. Slide in here, dog. Go ahead, Bryce. I'm listening to you.
Fuck me up again. No, Bellator fucked up. Rip Bellator. PFL Bellator fucked it up. Dog. Don Davis is a fucking idiot. I like fighters having options, bro.
Yeah,
if you can look GFL. I'm not. It might be the over 35 club.
I hope it works, bro.
I like fighters having options. This is why I'm fucking irritated about what they did to Bellator. You had an existing brand that was deeply there are not many brands outside the UFC
that are kind of
as deeply entrenched in the sport as the name Bellator. If you had given the name Bellator with that roster, fuck Don Davis. You could have had that roster with, you could have bought a ring, a name, and a bunch of contracts. And if you like people that knew what they were doing with enough capital, the problem is everybody and their brother thinks they can run an MMA promotion, and especially the idiots over here like the PFL with deep pockets, because their shit goes back to the WSOF and shady shit with Ali, and there's a reason why Ali's reputation is the way it is around the space. Like, we could go in depth for an hour and a half just on the bullshit of the fucking WSOF and the PFL. Let's not. Yeah. Let's carry on to the next fight. I don't want to.
And I was just about to say, you know what we can do, bro? We can get back to some UFC boys, because we had one more fight. So we got to the main card with Jack Jenkins and Gabriel Santos. GL, give me your thoughts, man, on Gabriel Santos coming through and getting a sub, man, against the fellow Aussie.
I love Jack Jenkins, man.
Dude, who doesn't, bro?
I know. I was disappointed to see him lose, but Santos, man, he's a good fighter. I was disappointed in Jack Jenkins. I wanted Jack Jenkins, to be honest.
He looked tired, man. He looked a little off, bro, to be honest. Like he gassed so quickly, bro.
I didn't understand why either.
That's what I was trying, because Jack is usually in 3-round wars, bro.
Yes, and it doesn't seem like he was missing a whole lot either.
My bad. That is true. I forgot about that guy. Gaethje did. Y'all remember that guy? That guy was insane.
Nick Newell.
Nick Newell, brother. Nick Newell.
Yeah,
Nick Newell is a legend.
Gaethje beat the fuck out of one arm, man.
One of the nicest guys. I mean, not.
Is he really, dude?
I met him in a CES show.
Bro, he's fought for. I can't believe. How does he have one arm?
It was some.
I followed him on Instagram.
I don't ask a guy with one arm. He doesn't have one arm. He's got a nub. Like, he's got the nub.
I get it. But like, what happened?
There was an injury. I think it was a birth defect. I don't know. But the guy was
my bad.
Fire wrestler. He made it to the B leagues. I mean, he made it to the B leagues. Made it out of the regionals. Was a star in the regionals.
No, bro. The fact that he did that with one arm, nothing but respect. Dude's a fucking gangster. Lazy. Crazy. That's a good point, dog. I did not hear about Jenkins' injury. Do you know what it was, Lazy? Or Price, did you hear anything about that, bro? Why he seemed a little off? Okay, I guess that's a no. I did not hear anything about that, Lazy. But I'll tell you what, though, dog, that makes a lot more fucking sense why he didn't seem all the way there. But Santos is a dog, man. Gabriel Santos is a gangster.
Prior to the fight, he said he was in great shape. Oh, no, sorry. He was in the ICU, and this is going by what I'm reading. Give me 1 second.
He was in the ICU after the fight?
Discharged from the hospital after his bout with Gabriel Santos. Jack Jenkins' team was later informed that a critical detail had been missed during the initial scan review. As a result, he was promptly readmitted and remains in the ICU. The injury occurred towards the end of the first round when Jenkins suffered a fracture to his thyroid cartilage.
Oh, yeah, right there, Price.
Air leak in his chest. That's why he gasped right there.
Fractured thyroid
cartilage. Damn! Wow. Oh, my God, bro.
It sounds horrendous.
Yeah.
Boys, that sounds like shit.
What a Saturday night, you know?
Oh, my God, bro. A thyroid cartilage injury and fucking...
No wonder why he was gassed.
Yeah, GL, I was over here like, bro, he just didn't seem all the way there to me. Yeah, bro, he was dying. He was fucking dying, bro. It's because Jenkins cut his hair.
I wouldn't say he was dying. I mean,
I'm being a little dramatic, Price. I'm being a little dramatic, but he fucking was fighting for his life to breathe.
Hey, at least you got the guy's name right.
Come on, dog. Come on, dog. Yeah, you got to show a little respect there. Cross, you missed it, Cross. I've been saying these names, and they have not been correct. So we got a couple more. Hopefully you enjoy, dog. Trigger, I'm with you, dog. Yeah. And Lane, I saw your question earlier, dog. My bad, I didn't get to it. I mentioned it earlier. The promotion was dog shit, bro. It ended up being 17 fights on the card. There only was 11, Lane. One of the fights were mine. They got canceled. So, but one door closes, Lane. Another one opens. We got a boxing fight in San Antonio, February 21st, dog. So it all works out for the reason, brother, that it's going to work out for. But I appreciate you asking. Trigger says that put him up there with Paul the Iron Lung Felder. That's a fucking good point, Trigger.
Shout out to the Philly gangster, Paul the Iron Lung Felder.
Bro, he is a straight up Philly gangster, dog. I'm with you,
He's
Cross.
doing, like,
That's wild.
triathlons and shit. He's training for triathlons and shit now. He's doing like, yeah, fucking guy's just fucking insane.
Trigger laugh my ass off. Trigger, yeah, lazy. You and Trigger, man, y'all be killing me, bro. With some of these comments like that. Put them in with the iron lug. Point, yes, sir. It's in San Antonio, brother. If you're out there, Point, that's where it's gonna be at, man. It'll be in San Antonio. It's just boxing, man. But boys, we had another fight to get to, man. We actually got to the main card with a pretty fun fight between Jake Matthews and Francisco Prado. Trigger, give me your thoughts. I mean, not Trigger. Price, give me your thoughts on this fight, man, between Jake Matthews and Prado. And how about Jake Matthews being in the UFC, bro, for 11 years now, and he's only 30 years old.
Yeah, the kid. Look, I think you might, and it might not be at welterweight, but you might. I think it is going to be at welterweight, but it might not. When you've been doing it for that long, I wouldn't expect if you don't see. I don't know where he's sitting at right now, and I can't off the top of my head.
He's got to be at least 25, like
21.
25.
Well, he's 21-7. Three. I'm trying to remember what it was. One. No, he's 2-2 in his last 4. He had a loss to Semmelsberger, which is a local guy for us. He trades.
Ooh, hey, Semmelsberger's a beast.
Yeah, bro.
Matthew.
So again, maybe he's a journeyman fighter and he just hangs out in the middle of the rankings like Jim Miller.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's not a bad thing. The guy's been doing it for a decade, bro. He's 30. He's not even in the full prime of his career yet. Like he's getting ready to peak right now, and he's 21-7. He's got a lot of the flaws worked out. He did just beat. He's got decisions over Rowe.
Phil Rowe before this one.
Yeah, right before this one. So again,
that was a good win too against Phil Rowe.
Yeah, it was a good decision win. 6 wins by knockout, 7 wins by submission.
Yeah.
3 wins by first round finishes. He's prepared to go the distance. He shows up. He's on weight. He's a professional.
Fights 2 times a year at least.
Yeah, he gets his fights in. He's not,
I like that belt in the background, GL. I see you with that championship belt, dog. I ain't seen it with you right there. I like that. Miesha Tate.
Yeah.
Yeah, GL. I like that background, dog, with the glove. I like that.
Yeah, you got a couple guys up there.
Look, you can tell his girl don't live with him.
Hey, GL, same here, dog. I love the freedom, brother. I love the freedom. You see this right here? Come on, man.
Yeah. I said when we move in together, I just want one wall so I can put all my goodies up.
Bro.
I got Colby, I got Don Cerrone, Colby, and Hoist Gracie up there.
Ooh, that's good.
And then the champ shorts, Bilal Muhammad right there.
Yeah, that's GL's hardcore, dog.
Trying to tell you, dog.
I can't believe y'all met at a gas station after BKFC, bro.
Bro, let me explain the crazy real quick. I'll give you the very quick.
Go ahead. Now, bro, we got 4 more fights.
The amount of shit we did after we left BKFC.
I want to go back to Jake Matthews, too.
The amount of shit we did after we left BKFC. We went to Johnny Garb's after party. We was kicking it with Clay Guida. We're hanging out. We get food. Hours later, we end up at this gas station in the middle of fucking nowhere. An hour out of Philly. Nobody's there but me and my daughter and this kid. There was 3 workers. Nobody's there. We're trying to get donuts from Dunkin' Donuts, and this dude shows up. Ask me about.
I walked in. We were the only ones in there too. It was hilarious.
So, and I was like, you know what? Kid wants to do something. Let's give him a shot. So now here we are, GL3s, hanging out with the Checkmate homies live every week.
That's insane, bro. Life's so fucking crazy. Go ahead, G.
Oh no, I was going to talk about Jake Matthews. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna say, bro. I think it's crazy. Like, what are the odds that y'all post up at the gas station? Like, what if you would have got gas before?
That's why we felt
like Price, man.
That's why we felt like there was an energy here. Look, there's an energy. You know me. I'm in the background, always fucking masterminding something. There's an energy.
Yeah,
the kid shows up. He can carry on a conversation. Shout out to my wife because she does also let me hang. She does live here. I can't say that his girl don't live with him, but my wife lets me hang shit like that on the walls too.
I see that hustle in the background, dog. I see that hustle.
This is the upstairs studio. I have an actual studio that the heat's not. The heat, it's too fucking cold here right now, bro. The heat, I gotta get a new heater out there. So it's a temporary situation. We're upstairs in an upstairs studio, but I have a whole in-person studio and stuff out in my store, at back of my property. So You see a
That's
change of
what's up.
scenery here once the weather breaks up here in PA.
Nah,
but,
I like it, dog. I like it.
Go
dog.
ahead.
But
Go ahead and give him what you got on Jake Matthews, GL3.
So 2 things real quick. Like shout out Price, man. It was just crazy meeting him. I've always wanted to be involved in the fight game. I'm a heavy equipment operator. I do construction work.
Nice.
And
Nice.
I like going to UFC events. I went to BKFC. That was my first one. And meeting Price, he's like, dude, let me get you 2 T-shirts. We end up talking, BSing for at least 20 minutes, just talking about fighting, man. It was awesome. But I went to UFC 302. And that was in Newark, New Jersey. That was Islam and Dustin Poirier. And we were right inside the fighter hotel where they did the weigh-ins at. So we're walking around. We see a bench right off to the side. It's me and my buddy that were there. We see this guy sitting by himself. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, that's Jake Matthews. We go sit right next to Jake Matthews, and we're sitting down right next to him, and we're like just chatting it up with him, man. We're like, dude, good luck on your fight with Phil Rowe. We saw Phil Rowe there too. We're like, good luck on your fight with Phil Rowe, man. And he was like super dope with us. He's like, dude, you guys can come back with the team if you want. And we're like, holy shit. But then there was Islam walking by. We were just like surrounded with fighters. It was just crazy. Cool ass guy. Super nice, down to earth too.
Where was this at?
That was in Newark, New Jersey.
Oh, okay, for Islam and Dustin.
Yeah, the Makhachev Poirier card. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, what a card to go to, bro. That was a fight of the year candidate, bro.
Oh, I love that fight.
Oh my god, that got my submission of the year, bro.
Strickland was on there too.
Yes, hey, that fight against Paulo Costa was a little. It is what it is, bro. It is what it is.
Classic 50-45.
I'll say one thing right now. You should follow us, but if you don't follow, there's 3 follows you should follow if you're an MMA fan besides S-Dogs.
Lay it on them. Lay it on them, brother.
Checkmate MMA wherever you're on socials.
Scrolling at the
follow
bottom.
Derek Lewis on Instagram.
Yes,
I'm telling you right now, my favorite follow on Twitter is Paulo Costa.
Oh my god,
funny.
Bro, the shit that he does on Twitter,
bro. Legend,
I'm here for the fuckery, bro. I'm here for the fuckery,
dog. But boys, if y'all don't got anything else about that Jake Matthews fight, we got a draw I can get to right now with y'all between Jimmy Crute.
Oh my gosh.
And Rodolfo Vieira.
Did you guys think it? Did you have it as a draw?
Price, what do you think, bro? Because I'm not gonna lie to you. Part of me does, because that first round was a 10-8. But the third round, how did they not give that to Jimmy?
It's a 10-8. They could have gave it to Jimmy. I think, well, if one more guy would have gave it to Jimmy, he would have had it. The 10-8 is what did it.
Yeah.
Bellato's got some work, but he's still young. Again, he's a stiff. It's going to sound gay as shit. No Diddy. He's a young, stiff Brazilian. Dog. He's just a young, stiff Brazilian who needs to fucking get into flow. Like, I don't mean it's just part of it. Some guys are stiff. He's a young, stiff Brazilian. No Diddy. Jimmy Crute looked better than I've seen him look. He seems to he fell out of love with the game. You know what I'm saying?
He had to take a good break. He took a good 2 years off.
Took a good break, centered himself. There's not an Australian fighter that I see that I really don't fight. Them guys are different down there. They're all cut from the same cloth. If they're in it to win it. Just look, they live in a place where everything wants to kill you. You have to be a special type of human if you live in a place where everything wants to kill you.
Yes, brother.
Stiff Brazilian.
Yeah, hey, that's the name of the show, brother. That's the title. That's the title of the show today, boys. Young Stiff Brazilians with the boys.
Do it.
But
no Diddy. You got to put the no Diddy afterwards.
You got to put the no Diddy after that, dog. Real quick, shout out. Oh, dude, I was so happy to see him get out there, bro, and he looked good, bro. That was my favorite fight Saturday. Rose, we're right there with you. It was a pretty good scrap, man. And like GL was saying, it's so good to see Jimmy get back out there, man. He's been in the UFC like your boy Matthews as well for so fucking long, bro. Yeah. So get out of my search history, bro.
This comment section's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, bro, the boys in here are always lit, man. Lazy, Trigger, Cross, Lane. The boys in here are always popping. If Juice Man joins, Juice Man will get us demonetized. Juice Man will get in here and start dropping some shit, dog. Hi, Lazy Bed and Chris Cushman. Yeah, Chris Cushman as well. What? Chris is the man.
Yeah, what are you doing when I'm gonna check? We might fuck around for everybody that's in the chat. Wednesday or Thursday, we're gonna see if we can work something out with old Sterling over here. Get him over on the Checkmate channel.
Let's go.
Let's just bullshit. We can cover the Cannoneer. we could cover the Cannoneer card since we're long-winded. We're gonna get through this, and
I'm gonna do that one anyways, dog. But GL, any thoughts on that draw, brother, between Jimmy and Rodolfo?
I thought it wasn't going to be a draw, to be honest with you. Like you said, the third round is kind of what was its deciding factor. But again, I was happy to see Jimmy Crute in there. Like Rodolfo needs work.
Because he's a young, stiff Brazilian.
He's a young, stiff Brazilian, brother.
Brazilian.
And that boy's eyes is a little sunk in. Velado's eyes look sunken.
Somebody said he looked like a bloated Rich Franklin. And now
bro, I'm about to say, I got to get back to this comment from Lazy. Velado looks like a bloated Rich Franklin. He has zero head movement, but his head is like a milk jug. That is 1,000%.
I mean,
big fucker, bro. Big
out of my
motherfucker,
fucking
bro.
search history. No, that's
Crute's haircut was a little brutal too, though. The mullet.
The mullet is a little bit of a.
Yeah, but see, we'll just chalk that one up to cultural differences.
Like,
you've seen some Brazilians with some fly-ass haircuts.
Yeah,
Australian haircuts by far are some of the stupidest haircuts I've ever seen. Shout out to all the Aussies. They got some weird things going on down there as far as Americanized haircut standards.
I'm not spitting in a shoe and drinking it, Price. You know what I'm saying? These dudes are a little different out there, dog. Haircuts are different. The way they drink beer.
If you can go outside at any given time and get bit by a spider, a snake, or a
that'll
shark,
kill you,
and it'll kill you,
fucking kill you.
It's just a different type of fucking human, dog.
Trigger, you're off the chain. He's Paulo Costa without the secret juice.
The secret use.
Oh, boys. Price, we got 3 more fights, brother, if you could stay for these.
Yeah, burn them. Let's go.
Let's get them. We got an absolute heavyweight scrap, boy. Not really a scrap, more it's the domination from Thaleson Teixeira versus Justin Tafa. Price, give me your thoughts on Teixeira, man.
My first initial thoughts on Teixeira, look, if it's that far gone, shave it the rest of the way off. Second, performance of the night bonus. I mean, it was an impressive performance.
Bro, that elbow,
a young, not so stiff Brazilian who's a little bit longer. Like, he's a young.
That dude is huge.
Huge,
Imagine walking in the ring. You're like, holy shit. He's like 2 feet taller than the cage.
Boys, let me tell you something right here about this dude. So he's 8-0, all finishes, has never been to the second round.
Yeah, seven wins by knockout, 1 win by submission, 8 first-round finishes.
That'll be a fun one.
What the fuck, bro? Thaleson KO under 1.5 W. Lane, I'm glad you got that money, Lane. Get that money, baby. I'd bet 1 or 1.5 every fight for this dude. But boys, what y'all think about that nasty-ass elbow? And is there anything y'all want to see next for Teixeira? Oh, shit. What'd you do, Price? Did you bet against it?
No, I'm a little salty because I didn't put any bets in this week, and I actually would have had a nice little
those hurt. Those hurt.
Zhang and
I hit Dern plus 1,800
for
sub.
That's good. That's good.
Dern plus 1,800 by sub that last time. And then my fucking Taylor Starling fucked my BKFC parlay. I had some nice money on the BKFC parlay that was getting ready to come.
I guess Beck.
Hey,
yeah.
On any given Saturday, anything can happen because
you never know, brother.
I almost hit 13,000 with Valentina Shevchenko. Who'd have fucked off Valentina Shevchenko was going to get choked out? You know what I'm saying?
Come on, bro.
That would have got me $13,000, and then she got choked out.
But like you said though, 8-0, never been to this 8-0, never been to the second round. I just hope he doesn't end up like Rebellis to Spain, and the UFC decides to cut him after he goes to decision and stuff. I hope that maybe they could just like keep easing him into competition and he could work his way up the ranks because he is a fun ass fighter to watch.
Price got the hat ready. Send both Tafa Bros and Tai Tufa to BKFC for a case of Forge Irish Stout.
I was looking for it whenever I was there. It wasn't there.
Lazy? I like that, Lazy. I don't know about for Tua Taivasa, but I like that, brother, for Tafa.
Stop. Run that name behind. I can't even say it the way you just said it.
Tua,
what did you say his name?
I was really hoping, brother. Y'all weren't gonna catch that. I was like,
before
wow,
I feel bad about making fun of you. Do you have dyslexia or something?
Dog, my tongue. I think I have CTE, brother. I think that's what it is.
Look, we're all a little.
I think I've took too many fights. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I need
head by heavyweights, dog.
Yeah, bro. I think I need to take a break. I need to take a break from sparring, to be honest with you. But Price,
no, I see these guys
love
that
BKFC, dude.
I see these guys that are 8-0, coming up from the regional, and the regional might not be the American regional. It could be the regionals in Brazil, as this guy was before he fought. Because his record, he fought somewheres that I saw him, and I can't remember where it was. I don't know if it was Brazil or not. I don't have a Jamie to pull it up right now.
No, you're good, bro.
8-0, never been out of the first round. There's some stuff that I want to see before I wasn't sold on the Cuban Missile Crisis either. So, and now he's
like
in
Trigger
karate
just
combat.
said, dog. Like Taliesin is going to be exactly like Despain, and you weren't sold on him. You weren't sold on him, Price.
I'm not sold on any. Again, everybody makes the walk gets respect, but some of these guys, before I bite into the hype a little bit, I want to see certain things. And yeah, 8-0 is impressive. 8 first-round finishes are impressive, but what happens when you get to that guy that can make it out of the first round with you? Then what do you do? Then we see your cardio. Then we see your conditioning. Then we see your composure.
That's the single reason I think I'd choose Jon Jones over Aspinall right there. Is just because the question marks and like the later in the fight.
Lazy, you never derailed the show, brother. Go ahead, Price.
I am fortunate enough to have talked to on a personal level, very good friends with the guy. One of the only people, if not the only person in the world that's camped with both Jon Jones and Francis Ngannou, and he said Jon Jones dog walks Tom Aspinall, but
hell yeah,
that's a time in a conversation.
I'm with you, Price.
Let's go, baby.
I'm with you, boys. I got Johnny Jones on that shit all day. But Lazy, you never derail the show, brother. You're the man. But shout out Parker Porter on his BKFC debut last week. What do you think about that, Price?
I did not catch that one, actually.
It's pretty good, man.
I'm stoked that he is able to. He did have 2 fights in the okay. My bad. Talashin Teixeira had 2 fights in LFA. I was trying to remember what promotion I saw him in before it was LFA. I don't remember where I was at. Sorry. Yeah.
Trigger.
I remember watching.
Ngannou would put Tom on a highlight reel
too. That'd be a tough one too.
I like that. UFC, let's get them back. Let's get them fucking back. Let's stop fucking around, Dana. Put the egos to the side. But boys,
no, Taffa should probably go to the BKFC. Both Taffa brothers should probably go. And Tiny, however the fuck you said his name, Tai Tuivasa.
Right here, dog.
They could just make them co-main and main event right there.
Yeah.
Bang.
Tai Tuivasa to the BKFC. Look, there we go.
You can have a conversation about somebody like we talked about Slavicals earlier and got sidetracked. You can have a conversation about guys being like 8-5 or whatever. The conversation is different than it was 3 years ago because he's pumping 70 to 80 new fighters in with Contender Series every fucking year. So we got a little bit of time before the Contender Series pops off. I don't know how many cuts we're going to get, but expect some more cuts this year from mediocre fighters. That's all I got to say about it.
Especially with the Dana White Contender Series coming up in August.
What I'm saying. Contender Series gives them 70 to 80 new fighters on their roster, and they've only got roughly around 750 spots last time I checked of what an active roster count was.
They can all go beat up Parker Porter and BKSD again. Jiggy, you're off the chain, dog. Boys, another great fight I want to talk about before we get on out of here tonight. We got to get into it. This co-main was not an absolute scrap, but it was a dominant performance from the champ, Zhang Weili. Give me y'all's thoughts going into this, man.
First of all, Tatiana Suarez, damn near probably some of the best wrestling I've ever seen in women's MMA.
Mm-hmm.
I do think, and it's not making excuses. It's safe to say that knee injury early, going into the cage like that, probably changed some stuff on her lead leg to be able to shoot and do some things differently.
Oh, how nasty was that, Bryce?
Regardless of the knee injury, I shout out to Patchy Mix. It was good to see Patchy Mix in the UFC cage.
That was cool.
I don't know who has anything for Weili Zhang. Zhang Weili, sorry, I always do that. I don't know who has anything for her.
Come on, GL.
Shevchenko.
Come on, GL.
Other than Shevchenko, that's the only look. I am not all about Sean O'Malley winning a fucking belt and talking about going up here and there. I'm not talking about guys going up unless they've cleared it. People going up unless they've cleared a division. Weili's done that.
Oh fuck yeah, bro, dude! That's an unbelievable fight. Oh my god.
She has Zhang stuck to the mat like Velcro in the first. Hey, that first round, boys, Tatiana looked good. 1-0 Tatiana in that first round. But then, like Bryce said, I wonder when that. I don't know what caused the knee. I think maybe it was the mat.
She went into the cage. They caught it. It tore off on the cage, which is crazy because they're heavy coated. They're heavy coated. She caught it somehow on the cage. They said on the broadcast, and it looked rough. And I'm over here like, all right, yeah, I'm not trying to shoot on that leg. I'm not trying to do anything on that leg. I'm not trying to get kicked on that leg. She asked her corner how. It's bad when she wouldn't even look at it. Like that's how much it hurt. She's like, how bad is it? You see blood, you don't know how bad it is, and they're like, don't look at it.
Bro, imagine the stitches. Like, oh my! And the shower that night was fucking.
Now she goes up and double champs it.
Thank you,
Suarez. I think Suarez can bounce back with an impressive win and be right back in it, and maybe go again if Weili still has it.
Yeah, GL, what was your thoughts, brother?
It's kind of how I had it, like kind of going in almost. I thought Zhang would have, if anything, led up the first round or second round, and then just as the fight progressed, because Zhang like had the more experience in the fourth and fifth rounds and has been around longer and had the more consistency fighting, that she would pretty much outlast Suarez and honestly even out grapple her. But obviously the injury played a part. But Zhang, I mean, I was super impressed. I was honestly kind of happy for her. I was like, I want to see that fight versus Shevchenko now so bad.
And then I don't know if y'all watched the press conference after, but Dana was saying they were waiting for him in the back. And that's what they're talking about, boys.
I know.
Everyone in the media was asking for it too. We have to get that fight. It's the only thing next for both women. They've cleared out their division. They've been in the game for so long, and that's the super fight we need, boys.
I think it's something definitely too with Shevchenko coming off that like long series against Grasso. You got to give her something to be excited about. I think that's
great. And great point with that. And they did Ultimate Fighter together. It's just been so much of them two. And Zhang, bro, what's next for her, boys? There's no other girl in that division I want to see her fight again. Unless y'all can think anything off the top.
I forget her name.
Somebody just brought up a good point about Ferro. If Ferro can beat Shevchenko, that fight probably doesn't happen. It's Zhang versus Shevchenko.
Good point.
Because it's Zhang versus.
Good point.
Now, could she go up and say, "Yeah, I'm going to take the belt from this bitch," and probably do it with ease? Yeah, I'm not. Again, shout out to Manon Fiorot. She's up there. She's doing the damn thing. Everybody makes the walk. Gets respect,
beast kickboxer.
Zhang Weili's on a whole nother level. I don't think it materializes. I think if she does end up beating Shevchenko, then there's if you pay attention to women's MMA, there's some exciting storylines coming up this year too.
There really is.
Possible Amanda Nunes coming back. What's going on with Kayla Harrison? Juliana Pena's getting ready to lose the belt. I feel like she's not gonna have it long. Like if you're following the storylines of the sport, there's a lot of interesting women's stuff getting ready to come up, so pay attention to it. I'm not saying they're going to headline cards or whatever, but
a lot of nice domains.
Some good fight though. But Rose, we're with you. I would be sad to see them fight. I really like them both. Weili versus Valentina. I think Valentina KOs Weili.
Oh wow.
Hey Rose, I mean, I can see it either way, boys. That's a pick'em fight. That's a pick'em fight, bro. That's a fight you sit back and just enjoy. You don't bet on that fight. You sit back and you just go, man, we're about to witness some legendary shit.
Bro, can you imagine that striking? Like the striking.
Oh my god!
That's why you remember when. Sorry, you remember when Rose head kicked Zhang?
Weili? Oh,
that was like I remember watching that in my buddy's basement and just was like, holy shit! Just so shocked that even happened. I couldn't even believe it. I was like, that was the craziest.
Because before that, bro, Weili was a tank. What she did to Andrade to win the title, the way she was sparking bitches, it's like, let's see what Rose has here. And then the fact she did the I'm the best thing as she was walking out. And like you said, bro, that's one of the nastiest head kicks I've ever seen.
I don't even know how she beat her, honestly.
Weili Joanna first fight. Yeah, 100%.
I'm not a huge Rose Again, everybody makes the walk on our channel, and this is how I feel. Everybody makes the walk, gets respect. I'm just not a huge Rose.
I feel it.
I was happy for her. She won the belt. I'm happy anytime somebody can win the belt. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no, I feel you.
But I'm not I'm not big on Rose Namajunas. Like, I'm higher on Fatima Klein than I am Rose Namajunas currently.
Ooh, she's a beast. She's a beast.
You haven't seen. Look, go watch some of her regional shit.
Bro,
nasty.
Just from the highlights the UFC showed, I was like, "Who the fuck is this?" She's a monster, bro. But boys, we had one more fight to talk about, and it's a little bit of a sad ending if you were a Sean Strickland fan like your boy over here. We had Sean Strickland versus Dricus Du Plessis, and go ahead, Price, take this over, brother.
I'm a Sean Strickland fan. I don't give a shit.
Thank you, man.
It was a par for the course Sean Strickland fight. The only problem was Dricus Du Plessis was better. Like you nailed it. I mean, you can't look. As soon as they said Khamzat's next, again, if Khamzat's one of them guys where like I'm high on Khamzat, but I'm not like Fatima Klein high on Khamzat. Like
right here, dog.
I still have questions. I still have questions about Khamzat. He is him a bit, but I still have questions about Khamzat. I'm anxious to see what Dricus does when he's wrestled. Dricus historically, look at Sean's success when Sean pushed him back. When Sean pushed him back and put him on his back foot, he had success. If Khamzat does that coupled with the Dagestani or the fucking Russian wrestle fucking, I don't know. Again, but anything can happen, bro. Sorry, the Russian by way of Sweden, by way of Chechnya, by way of United Arab Emirates wrestle fucking. I don't know how Dricus
wrestle fucking.
Sean should have focused a little less on Chimaev throughout the week. I feel you on that lane, but I think both guys know that no matter who won this fight, probably had to fight Chimaev after. So he's kind of building it up a little bit there, you might say. But Lane, I just think Dricus is that good. The fact nobody's ever broke Sean's fucking nose.
At any
like
point,
that.
You should be selling a fight. Never look past the guy that's in front of you.
Yeah.
But at any point, you could be selling the fight because in 6 months from now, these two could be in. Yeah. Well, again, that's another point I kind of wanted to make with Sean. Like,
go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Did have an atypical Sean Strickland fight, and it was to be expected a Sean Strickland performance, like down to a T.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've never had staph and trained with staph and the antibiotics and the stuff that it does to your body,
thank you.
I wasn't mad at the first fight, but there's an argument to say that Sean won that fight. He did worse this time.
I'm with you.
The difference is I don't see a consummate professional like Sean who always shows up on weight, never has any issues.
Yeah.
Doesn't really pull out from fights, is down to bang. Again, the same guy that sparred Francis that I talked to that's in my phone, spars with Sean whenever he goes out to Extreme Couture. Everything you see, everything you hear is true. Sean will stand and fucking bang to the death. You need to do more than that against Dricus Du Plessis. You can't keep kicking jab. Like, you got to mix it up. You can't throw punches and bunches. You got to throw more than 2 at a time. When you're throwing 3s and 4s against this guy, he's so unorthodox. If you can catch him, it works. But Sean, I think Staff had something to do with it. A little bit. Not an excuse. It is what it is. But I think Staff probably played a part because it sucks. It sucks the life out of you to be on antibiotics for that shit.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Gio.
I feel like Dricus was definitely open for like counters and stuff. But I mean, this is already thinking ahead. But like he was talking about Pereira and stuff like that. I think Pereira would smoke Dricus. But Dricus, I like how at the beginning of his career, like he went to start trying to kill everybody, like swinging for the fences, start get like the gassing out problems, and you just seeing him more technical, more composed. I thought his kicks were really good in this fight, and he even said in his post-fight interview, his coach asked him, he's like, "Do you hate your opponents?" And Dricus is like, "No." Then his coach said, "Why are you trying to kill everybody then?" So Dricus was like, "Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right." And just kind of started to fight more technical, composed like that. And I thought he's looked better doing that. Yeah, I mean, was, Sean compromised like maybe a little bit with the staff and other things probably. But Dricus looked pretty good,
And again, not to take anything away from Dricus, like the guy is the middleweight champion of the world. He's unorthodox. He puts it together. He's got an awkward style. Big as fuck for the division. You start questioning how much longer he can make this weight. He's talking, we posted about it on our page. He looked right across the cage at Alex and said, "Is there no one?" And then Alex said, 205, let's go. We'll see. we'll see what happens with Ankalaev because he's next.
Yeah, bro, and that's a good point. They're kind of by lazy, man. As much of a Sean Strickland fan I am, you can't be the boy who cried war and then come in and live off jabs and teeps.
I mean,
but
Price,
it's that pressure. It's that pressure too, though.
It's pressure. Look, he didn't put the pressure that he put the first time. He was having success in the pressure. I think somebody that knows how to close distance. You get a bulkier middleweight that can close distance and work angles and make him work his wrestling game. Is who you need to beat Dricus at this point. And I don't know. Real quick before we can go, I'll pull the rankings up and I'm just looking.
I mean, while you're doing that, bro, this is a solid comment here from Estate. DDP's Kryptonite might be a brute, just like him, slightly more technical style, some knees or at least threat of knees to stop DDP from ducking down, lunging overhands he throws.
I mean, again,
maybe Apollo Costa.
The verdict's still out on Khamzat for me. I think there's some stuff that you need to see, but I think he presents an interesting challenge for him. I hate to say
lazy. Come on, dog. Come on, lazy. Don't do my boy like that, dog. Toxic that's Robbie good. Lawler shows up to fight.
Speaking of Robbie Lawler, I'm hoping what I'm hearing comes true. And Robbie Lawler goes fight Mike Perry in BKFC. I think you didn't hear about this. They've been working on this for weeks.
I've been waiting on that to come announced. Bro, wherever that's
Chow,
at, I might have to fly out
Chow, I think Barajo, and again, I'm not saying directly right now. I'm not saying right now these guys can do it, but I think Brendan Allen could present problems for him. I think Barajo could present problems for him. I'm interested
Barajo for sure.
Barajo, whatever. I'm interested to see if he makes it past Khamzat. I'm a big Joey Piper fan. I think Joey Piper's got the power to put him out, but Joey Piper's many fights away from.
My bad, dog. Trigger, man. Trigger and lazy kill me, bro. I try to hold it in. Best quote I heard about DDP is on paper he should lose these fights, but he can't read.
He can't read. Yep. Yeah.
These boys are funny as fuck, man.
Yeah, bro. I like your chat. Your chat's interesting.
Bro, bunch of real homies.
It's
man.
Nice. It's nice. It's the homies,
bro.
Because
they're
ours
real
are
homies.
like people that are giving their opinion. Yeah, these are the homies, bro. So I appreciate
bro. If I do a solo and like when these guys get on here with me, it's the best in the world, man. Because like I don't know what to talk about, and they'll just get on here with me, bro, and then I forget I'm recording. You just think you're chopping it up with the boys, and they'll just keep you. They'll keep you laughing. They'll keep you on your toes too. They'll check you. If you fuck up, these boys will check you too. Yeah. So you gotta be on your toes over here with these boys. But bro, they support everyone. Trigger follows everyone. They probably already subscribed to Checkmate already, bro.
Let's
lazy Trigger.
Let's see how good your chat is.
They're the boys.
I'm gonna do it live real quick.
They're the boys. Good. They're the boys, man. I'm telling you, if they haven't already, they're Trigger, just enjoying the show and they'll go after.
Yeah, bro. And look, if you guys like coffee, go buy. We got one new sub on YouTube. I appreciate that.
I'm telling you, they're the homies, bro. If they usually they do it after the show, they just like chopping it up with the boys.
I'm just fucking with you. Yeah, no, it's all good. We appreciate it. We appreciate all the support. Like I said,
they're the real ones. But boys, overall, before we wrap up this show, give me your overall thoughts of UFC 312, man. Not a bad. Not better than I thought. Hey, better than I thought it was gonna be, boys. On paper, it didn't look great.
On paper, no, yeah.
On paper, it looked like we were gonna have a shit night.
It's a double-sided sword. It's a double-edged sword because look at the amount of shit people were talking before 300.
Anomaly.
Look at the amount of shit people were talking before Sphere, and those are the two of the best events that we had. Like card-wise and event-wise, the Sphere was something else. They said it was crazy in person. I didn't mind it. It's not quite as a concert and a half as a boxing match. I didn't mind the Sphere. 300. I remember everybody talking shit on 300.
300 was amazing.
We did a watch party. We would have watch party for
300. Fuck, it was amazing.
Yeah, bro, you can't. So they sell stories. They have a way of packaging it. The promos. Sometimes you're not in it till you catch Embedded or you catch the countdown or you catch some of the stuff on social. We're in a lot of different era changes in a lot of different weight classes, and you're getting that weird time where you're getting so many crazy stories going in so many different weight classes, and it just keeps it popping. So you pay attention to that when you get the the cards that aren't as deep and figure out what's coming next.
But real quick though, dog, my boy Lazy just subbed. Y'all earned this one. Lazy. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate boys, I'll tell you, the chat's always live.
We're usually live 7 p.m. on Wednesdays, 1 week a month. We usually do like a midday show. It's supposed to be this week, but we kind of we're also on Millions. If you guys are tuning in to new content, we're on Millions too. We're gonna have merch and stuff on there. And again, real quick before we dip out, at Checkmate MMA, CHKM8 MMA, across all socials, no matter where you're at. We're trying to grow the Instagram and the Facebook, so you guys are on there. Linktree for everything, but we're everywhere. If you Google Linktree Checkmate MMA, it takes you everywhere. All the stuff's available on our socials at Checkmate MMA. And if you want some really good fresh roasted specialty grade coffee, tinyurl.com/Checkmate Roasters. Fresh roasted, shipped to your house, organic specialty grade.
Yeah, I see you, GL.
Use the code Checkmate for free shipping, and we appreciate you guys. Yeah, I've seen a bunch of names pop up that
Rose
we've linked out.
I appreciate you
guys.
I appreciate you, Rose. Real quick, Domly, we've been on for 2 hours, Bubba. We've been on for 2 fucking hours, mate. You caught the tail end, dog. Don't know what to tell you. You need to hop in here earlier next time. But also, you were live as well, so I appreciate you hopping in, big dog. If you're not already, folks, make sure you like to subscribe to MMA Anomaly as well. One of the homies, Amber. Big appreciate you being here for your first time. I'm glad you like the show. Lazy and Chris are always in here, always showing love. My boy Trigger, always in the chat. I want to give a shout out to Estate, always in here as well, man. Estate always showing love. Lane, you know I can't forget about you, homie. Always in here, Lane. You're a real one as well. All the boys at the beginning, Leroy, Crossover, everyone that was in the chat, man. We appreciate y'all more than y'all know. Y'all help the show out more than y'all really do know. Appreciate all the subs. If you're not already, like and subscribe and comment, people. What the fuck is wrong with you? GL, nice to meet you as well, dog. First time chopping it up,
man. Of course. Yeah. I hope we can do it again soon. I appreciate it.
Bro, I'm always down to have you. I'm always down to have you on the show, bro. You seem like a cool ass dude. I like your background. Yeah, and you seem like you know a little bit about the sport, dog.
I said Hamzat right there. Next middleweight champ.
Hey, you're not a common fan, brother, and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
But boys, appreciate the chat. I appreciate you too, Price. You're the man, dog. I know we did this last second, bro. We've been trying to make it happen. I'm a little hard to get in touch, but dog, I'm glad
this motherfucker leaves you on red. Don't answer the phone.
Don't
Sees
do
a
that.
call. Don't call you back. I'm over here trying to create opportunities and network, and this dude's out here just taking pictures of the sunshine while I'm in the middle of an ice storm and shit. He's just out here living his best life.
Oh, bro, you're funny as fuck, man. You're the man, Price. Check out my boy Checkmate MMA. GL, can't wait to have you back on the show. S Dogs MMA Talk. We appreciate the chat. We're out of here, folks. We'll see y'all Thursday.